Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to all of you once again to the physics classes. We were talking about motion in a straight line. Some of the questions we have already discussed and solved. Now again some more questions we are going to talk in the chapter of motion in a straight line. Okay, so we will go to the next question, that is in the middle. A body is falling freely for 10 seconds. Its average velocity during this journey is 10 seconds it is moving. So what is the formula for average velocity? Average velocity is distance by time, no? x1, x2 plus x3, t1, t2, t3, like that you are going to get, no? Now x you have to find out, that is h is equal to v naught t plus half at square. 10 I am going to write down, 10 t square is whole square, isn't it? So this becomes 5 and 500. So in 10 seconds it travels 500 meters. Now we average is how much? So s1 plus s2 plus s3 divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3, like that, no? But it has traveled only this much of distance, that is we average is nothing but 500 divided by time is 10, which is equal to 50 meters, 50 meter per second, 50 meter per second. So go to the next question. Okay, go to the next question on the screen. Try to find out the answer for this. Okay, simple and very easy. Yes, can you do this? A car is moving with a velocity of 20 meter per second, is stopped in a distance 40 meter. Now the car is moving with 20 meter per second and it is stopped at a distance of 40 meter. If the same car is traveling double the velocity, so initial velocity v naught, next one is 2 times v naught, double the velocity, the distance traveled by the retardation is, means it will be stopped in what? Stopping distance it is, right? You know that, see, initial velocity, the stopping distance is directly proportional to square of the initial velocity. Now x1 was how much? x1 by x2 v naught for this case, and here it is 2 v naught whole square. No, this is what the formula we can write down since it is directly proportional. Now earlier what was the distance? 40. Next you have to find out. Earlier 20 whole square, later 2 times 20 means 4 times 20 whole square. Cancels, you are going to get x2 which is equal to 4 times 40, that is 160 meter, 4 times, right? 4 times. So this is what the stopping distance is. So go through the next question on the screen. That is, so again I am going to tell you that learn, practice once again. These all what 30 to 35 questions we are going to solve in the class, or in this video we have solved. Once again go and what you have to do is practice it or solve it once again. That will be helpful for you, and after that have some material to work out, and as I said that at least 15 questions per day if you solve, okay, consistently till to the examination, means it is, you can do little bit achievement, right? Some of the achievements you can do, and you can your growth, your potential, you can say you can see, or you can understand your own potentials, right? So increase the potential means you have to more and more questions you have to solve. We will move to the next question, that is a particle shows a distance time graph, that is xt graph is in this way, okay, it is like this, okay. So the distance time graph as shown in the figure. The maximum instantaneous velocity, is it at p, is it at q, is it at r, or is it at s? Okay. So maximum instantaneous velocity. What do you mean by instantaneous velocity? See, xt graph is there means whose slope gives you the instantaneous velocity, whose slope gives you the instantaneous velocity. Slope means it may be tan theta or dx by dt, okay. Or you how to this, see, this is not a straight line. How I can find out the instantaneous velocity? Okay, p q r, yes, means here you have to draw the slope, here you have to draw the tangent and slope, tangent and slope, tangent and slope, tangent, here no slope, okay. See, if you write down the same tangent means for the less time maximum distance has to cover, for the less time maximum distance has to cover. And if you see means this one is very much straighter like this here, no, than all other, okay. So figure is not that much of clearly visible maybe for you, but now general concept is the more and more distance is covered with the time t. O to p, the less time same distance, p to q same time same distance, but q to r, that is less time maximum distance, you can see the maximum distance and the less time, this is, forget about this, less distance maximum time. So q to r means it is the r, point r, so it is increasing when it reaches to point r. So at point r it will be having maximum instantaneous velocity, it will be having maximum instantaneous velocity. And we are going to move to the next question. What is that? If a car at rest accelerated uniformly a speed of 144 km per hour, now 144 km per hour, but here it is given in SI units, there it is given in kilometer per hour, you have to change into meter per second, no. So 5 by 18 you have to multiply, no. So it becomes meter per second. Let it be like this only, okay. That is uniform, accelerated uniformly means acceleration goes on increasing, uniform, sorry, acceleration is constant. Now velocity goes on changes. In 20 seconds, it covers a distance, okay. So if car at rest accelerated uniformly means earlier velocity was 0, it has taken this velocity. Now what is uniform latest speed of 144 km per hour? What is the total distance covered? Now total distance covered means x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square you can use, but v is equal to v naught plus a t, you have to find out the acceleration first. To use x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square, so v is equal to v naught plus a t we will use, that is nothing but a is equal to v divided by t, no. So a is equal to, that is 144 into 5 by 18 divided by 20, right. So how much you are going to get? Okay, so some value you are going to get here. So you have 2 meter per second square you are going to get. Okay, calculate it quickly you calculate. Okay, that is acceleration you are going to get. Okay, and later you have to calculate 2 meter per second square you are going to get. Here only you can also do, that is nothing but okay. So you are going to get okay. So 2 meter per second square you are going to get, and after that you have to calculate x, that is v naught t plus half at square. So half into 2 into 20 whole square, which is equal to 400 meters, which is equal to 400 meters. This is the thing. We were talking about the chapter of motion in a straight line, and now we have reached to the 20th question. So a ball is dropped from a bridge 122.5 meter high. After the first ball, see, a bridge is there, okay, which is at a height of 122.5 meter high. Okay, after the first ball has fallen for 2 seconds, okay, another ball must be initial velocity of the second ball be okay. So there is some ambiguity in the question, so I am going to tell you what actually the question is. Okay, a ball is dropped from the bridge of 122.5 meter. Okay, after 2 seconds one more ball is dropped. Okay, and what must be the velocity of the second ball so that both balls hit the surface of the water in the same time. So one ball is there A, which is dropped, another one is there B, which is thrown. Okay, whose velocity we have to find out. Whose velocity is 0. First ball velocity is 0. Second ball velocity we have to find out. Okay, second ball velocity we have to find out. Now it is thrown, okay, after 2 seconds. So say for example, what is the height? See, 122.5 is the height. It will reach in t seconds. Say for example, the initial velocity is 0 of gt square, t seconds. No, so we will find out first in how much seconds it is going to reach. Okay, so time we have to find out 122.5 into 2. No, it is 200, 224 and 225. 225 divided by 10, this one, and which is equal to t square. So which is nothing but nearly equal to 22.5, isn't it? So into 2 and divided by 10, that is 22.5, and square you have to do, square of that, which is nothing but nearly equal to 5 I am going to take, which is nearly equal to 5, right? So what next? So 5 seconds it will take. So first ball it will take 5 seconds. Next we have another ball, that is nothing but which is thrown. We don't know the velocity of that, but which is thrown after 2 seconds, means it will take, the ball B will take t minus 2 seconds, that is nothing but 5 minus 3, which is equal to 1 minus 2, which is equal to 3 seconds it will take, to reach to the ground. 3 seconds it will take to reach to the ground. Now I'll erase this. Second one, it will take 3 seconds to reach the ground. We have to find out the velocity, okay. So again, x is equal to v naught t plus half at square. X is nothing but 122.5. V naught t, that V naught t we have to find out. V naught t plus half g is nothing but 10 into t is nothing but how much here it is? 5 minus 2 is 3 whole square, it is 3. Now the question is to put the what? Sign? No. See, I have to find out v. So I am not going to put any sign here. But displacement downward is negative, g is also negative. I can put like this. and velocity has to come negative because downward it is coming, no, as per us. So, but doesn't matter for us, it is just if you write down, that is sufficient for us. Now, how much it is? 122.5 plus, it is minus this plus. So, it is 5 nines are 45. So, here it is plus 45, which is equal to V naught into 3, right. Now, what is here? 45, 122 minus 45 is nothing but 77.5, which is nothing but 77.5, that is 77.5 divided by 3, which is equal to V naught. How much? Nearly equal to 26.1, isn't it? Here it is 26.1, and we are supposed to take 9.8 because 10 is not given, 9.8 you have to get, and here you are going to get 26.1 meter per second. Okay, this is what. So, go to the next question and read that, find out the answer for that. Okay. Okay, so just go through it. A particle, so the number is little bit missed. Okay, so already we have discussed this. This is we have discussed now. Okay, it actually with the 21st one. So particle is thrown vertically upward with the velocity of half of the height is 10 meter per second, then the maximum height attained by it will be. Okay, that we have to find out. That a particle thrown vertically upwards, its velocity at half of the height is 10 meter per second, means it will reach a certain height x, half of the, that is x by 2, it is 10 meter per second, and you have to find out what is the maximum height. Now we will find out the initial velocity. So v square, which is equal to v naught square plus 2ax. Now half of the height it is reached, whose final velocities became how much? 10 whole square. Upward velocity means what? Velocity is positive. This one I have to find out. I am not supposed to apply any sign here. So x is also negative, g is also negative, it becomes plus. Upward is okay, upward g is positive, right? Upward is g is negative, and x, what we have assumed that x is also positive, so it becomes negative, right? And v naught square, which is equal to 2 cancels, it is 10x, so 100 minus 10x it becomes, that is v naught square. Now next we are going to find out, yes, for the full height means that is nothing but v square, which is equal to v naught square plus 2ax, and upward is positive, this is negative, so it becomes negative. I am not going to apply any sign for the x, but I have applied only for g, because x I have to find out. V naught square is minus, it becomes, it is actually positive, but it becomes minus when it comes to here, minus v naught square. In this way, v naught is 0. Okay, now v naught square is nothing but 100 minus 10x, isn't it? And which is equal to minus, or yes, that is 20x. Ax is, a means nothing but 10, goes there, it becomes plus, and 100 which is equal to 10x, it becomes 20 minus x, and x is equal to 100 divided by 10, which is equal to 10 meters, right? This is the things. Go to the next question. Actually it is 21st, it is 22nd question. Go through it. Okay, so ABCD is mentioned. Now a body is released from the top of the tower h meter high. Now top of the tower is there, whose height is h meter, and it takes t second to reach the ground. To reach the ground, it takes t seconds. Where is the body after t by 2 second of release? Where is the body after t by 2 of the second of the release? Now you have to find out where is that body will be after t by second from the ground. From the ground you have to find out. Means suppose see, it will take your t seconds to reach h. After t by 2 somewhere it is here, say h1 I am going to write down. From the ground where it is? H minus h1. No. Now I have to find out for the total h is the thing, but h is equal to v naught is 0 of g t square. Now next one it is h1. I don't know h1 which is equal to of g t by 2 whole square, which becomes half into g into t by 4, and I can write down gt square. Of gt square means I can write down h. So h1 is equal to after t by 2 second, see this is t square means h1 I can write down h by 4, means it will reach us to 1 by 4th of the h. Now what actually the height from the ground, that I have to subtract, right? Okay, so h minus h1 is nothing but h by 4, which is equal to 3h by 4, 3h by 4, and we are that is the first option. There is nothing but the first option. Okay, so this is what some of the questions. We are going to move to the next question. Well, we are going to move to the next question. So the earlier question was little bit, that question number was mistyped. Okay, just to go through it. Next question we are going to talk, that is you can see on the screen, that is nothing but it says a body starts from rest with an acceleration a1, and after 2 seconds another body b starts from rest with an acceleration a2 after 2 seconds. Okay, if they travel equal distances in fifth second, after the start of a, the ratio of a1 and a2 will be. Now we will see that, see a body starts from rest and it is nothing but a freely falling thing. It is nothing but a freely falling thing. So body is freely falling, and we are going to check. Now a body starts from rest with the acceleration a1. We can say it's not like freely falling, but say for example similar to that you can consider. Okay, but not always, all the time you can consider like that. Okay, remember. Okay, so a1 it is starts from acceleration a1. After 2 seconds, see it will reach some value here, some distance here. After that it is going to start, that is body b, and acceleration is a2. Okay, that is for the body b and a with an acceleration a2. If this travel equal distances in equal intervals of equal distances, they will travel equal distances in fifth second after the start of a. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is fifth second after the start of a. Means fifth second after the start of a means when a is started. Okay, a is started, that is fifth second, it is started at the first itself. B is started from rest after t is equal to 2 seconds. No, B is started means it is fifth second, means it is 2, 3, 4. No, fifth second means it has traveled only 3 seconds. It has took 3 seconds. No, 5 minus 2. So for this it is third second, for this it is fifth second after the start of a. The ratio of a1 and a2 will be, the ratio of a1 and A2 will be you have to do. So fifth means that that is nothing but it is nothing but the motion of the object in a nth second. So they have started from rest. We have v naught t plus a by 2 2n minus 1, but rest. So this concept, this term is going to become 0. So we are going to write down s nth, which is equal to a by 2 2n minus 1, right? Now for the first one it is fifth, that is a by 2, that is nothing but a1 by 2. Okay, 2 into 5, that is 10, minus 1, that is 9. For S3, the second one is S3, it has travelled 3 seconds, no? So here it is A2 divided by 2, 3, 2 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. Now they have equal, they have told, no? Okay, the second after start of A, in equal distances they are going to travel, means S5 is equal to S3 and A2 by 2, that is 5 times, which is equal to A1 by 2, which is equal to 9 times. Now what I want, A1 is to A2, I want A1 by A2, which is equal to 5 by 9, which is equal to 5 is to 9. This is become 5 is to 9. Option say go through the next question, go to the next question. So go through the next question, which is on the screen. It says that, what it says. Now the question says 3 different objects m1, m2 and m3 are allowed to fall from rest from the same point O along 3 different frictionless paths. Whatever may be the path, it is frictionless, so doesn't matter, it is frictionless means it is freely falling itself. The frictionless itself, that there is no air resistance we have considered. There is no consideration of air resistance. That's why indirectly they are saying that there is frictionless, means there is no air resistance. Now 3 objects are falling. Okay, now allowed to fall from rest and from the same point O along 3 frictionless paths. The speeds of 3 objects on reaching the ground will be with the ratio of, so whatever may be, that height is same rho, right? Okay, allowed to from the rest from the same point O, same point, whatever may be the path, no, height is same. We need displacement, no, we need displacement. Okay, so means that is depends on displacement, that is not depends on path. Did we discuss that 3-dimensional 3 kinematic equation based on the path? No, right? We discussed based on the total initial and final position, right? And now nothing to worry about the path. Okay, that is the extra term they have given. Frictionless tells that there is no air resistance, that's all. And now they have asked that if so is the case, now what is going to happen? The speed of the 3 objects on reaching the ground will be the ratio of, that is the speed will be, that is v is equal to v naught plus 2at, isn't it? Time is same, so there is no term called mass. These kinematic equations are independent of mass. You take the mass m1 like this, m2 in this way, m3 in this way, simultaneously you allowed to fall it, they will reach with the same velocity simultaneously, because there is no air resistance, no? Okay, and there is no term called m here. If m was there, they were dependent. If m is not there, that's why it is not dependent on mass. That's why, so what is the answer? All the velocities will be okay, same. So 1 is to 1 is to 1. The option is B. Option is B. Go to the next question. Go to the next question. What it says, read the question on the screen and try to find out the answer. Try to find out the answer. So what that question says, it says that a body is starting from rest, moving along a straight line moving along a straight line with a constant acceleration means it is same as like that of the freely falling thing, no? Always constant acceleration means whenever the problem comes, constant acceleration means try to connect it with freely falling things. Always it is not going to happen, always you can't say that it is similar, but the understanding purpose that problem is very easy. Constant acceleration, go and say if suppose it is freely falling body, but not every time is same. Remember, every time is not same. Okay, that is depends on the question. Now a body is starting from rest, moves along a straight line with a constant acceleration, no? Freely falling body, I can say the variation of speed with the distance, speed, velocity with the distance is represented by the graph. Constant acceleration means what happens? Freely falling body, what happens? First it will fall, velocity increases, velocity increases. We know that in the first second it is going to travel less distance, in the next second it travel more distance, in the third second it travel more distance, fourth second it travel again more distance. No, that we have studied in the nth second. See, it is not like that in the first second same distance, second second same distance, third second same distance. No, for the freely falling first it is less, next it is more, next it is large, next it is very large. No, it is like that. So velocity means velocity increases and displacement also increases. No, and which is the graph? That is velocity versus displacement graph. The option is D. Don't confuse with the time, okay? Because always we are writing the graph for velocity time graph, displacement time graph, acceleration time graph, and whenever we are going to see velocity displacement, we will see the scenario, same scenario. No, it is not like that. You have to understand the question in an exact manner and try to relate most of the question when they are saying it is constant acceleration, and from rest relate it to the freely falling body, related that to freely falling body. Simple. Okay, that is the thing. Go to the next question, read it on the screen and try to find out the answer. What it says? Now it says that a ball is thrown vertically upwards. Which of the following plots represents the speed and time graph? Speed and time graph means I can say it is nothing but velocity time graph itself. No. Now it is thrown upward. Speed time during of the fall. Okay, the plot represents the speed time graph of the ball during its flight. If the air resistance is not ignored, what is that case? Ball is thrown vertically upward, which with the following plots represents the speed time graph. Now speed and velocity time graph we are going to write down. It is nothing matters. Speed and velocity is not change when you write down for the graph. Okay, speed means always you are going to write down positive, that's all. Okay, so velocity time graph only you can write down, and you can write down in the first quadrant itself, though it is negative velocity. Okay, now what happens of following vertically upwards? Vertically upward means what happens? If suppose air resistance is not there, we have studied for no air resistance. Okay, air resistance not there means velocity goes on, decreases, becomes zero. I have thrown a ball, decreases, becomes zero. When? That is the thing is that which is having constant acceleration. Wherever you write down the graph, you must get constant acceleration, right? Wherever you are going to write down the graph, you have to get the constant acceleration. Yes, I am going to get like this. Now it is falling, same vice versa case, because when I catch that ball or the object, the same velocity with which I have thrown, that velocity it will attain. Means like this. It is suppose only when it is air resistance is not considered. Now they have told that air resistance is there, right? Air resistance is there means what? Though it is going upward, air resistance does not going to increase its velocity in such a way that large more or less means you are going to throw with a fast velocity, but that is not going to happen because that air resistance is not going to allow. Means quickly that velocity going to reduce. Quickly that velocity going to reduce. Now I can say quickly that velocity going to reduce means actually it was this case without air resistance. Now what happens? Time is less like this. Time is less. No, within less time that velocity goes on becomes 0. No, like this. And coming also less time. Okay, not that time. So I can write down in this way. General concept it is. Okay, and that becomes the answer for that. Okay, and it may be the answer is D. The answer is D. That go to the next question. Go to the next question. That is, we are almost end of this motion in the straight line chapter question answers. Okay, we have to go through it. As I have said, follow the instruction again and again, see and solve the questions, make a timetable, exactly study, keep the order in the studies, and then success will be yours. And don't think that okay, this is that thing like this, no. Because whenever you go and practice more and more questions, you will get the hold on any of the questions and any of the subject. Okay, right? Now we are going to talk about the next question, that is, which of the following velocity time graph shows the realistic situation for a body in motion? Means there are 4 graphs. Which one is realistic and which one is not possible? Means all are not possible, one is realistic, one can possible. That you have to say, now it is acceleration, this is the velocity time graph they have asked. Okay, this is A, B, C, D, this is not acceleration, A, B, C, D, this is VT graph. Now first one we will see, velocity, from always we will start from the first. Okay, like that. Velocity, see, velocity increases with the time, it is possible. Now velocity also decreases, time also decreases. Is it possible? Time, anything is there, any any situation is there where time is going to reduce or reverses? No, time cannot be in reverse manner. No, that is wrong. First one won't happen. Second one seems that it happens. No, realistic. Velocity increases, decreases, full positive. Let's see other graphs. Okay, the third one also, see, the negative is there. Third one is also, that is negative, right? See, it is positive, but reverse it comes means time is negative, it is not possible. And here also see, positive, come back, it is time is negative, it is not possible. Then which one? Yes, the option second one, it is possible. Which one is the correct one? So go through the next question, which is on the screen. Okay, go to the next question. It says that 2 spheres of same size, one of the mass is 2 kg, one of the mass is 2 kg, and another of mass is 4 kg, another of mass is 4 kg, are dropped simultaneously, from the top of the Qutub Minar, from the top of the tower. Okay, from the top of the tower. Okay, now it's Qutub Minar, not Eiffel Tower. Okay, so when they are 1 meter above the ground, both are reaching simultaneously. When they are 1 meter above the ground, the 2 spheres have the same. Momentum means what? P is equal to m into v. Earlier problem we studied that velocity remains same for any of the object with irrespective of their mass, right? Irrespective of their mass, velocity of both the objects remain same. We have studied, right? Now what is going to happen here? Mass is responsible for the momentum, so momentum cannot be same. Now kinetic energy is nothing but half mv square. No, again the mass is responsible. This cannot be remain same. This cannot be remain same. Again we have potential energy. What it says, the potential energy expression is nothing but m into g into h. So mass, isn't it? Mass. So it is also responsible. So this is also not possible. This could not be happen because mass is different. For both the object mass is different, then potential energy must be different, then this must be acceleration, right? Yes, because acceleration due to gravity, it may be 10 kg, 20 kg, 30 kg, whatever it may be. It may be a thin person, it may be fat person is falling from the top of the building, who will be having the same acceleration, a constant acceleration. It may be a 4 kg body or it may be a 2 kg body, which does not depends on the mass, that acceleration. That's why, so here acceleration will remain constant. That is the answer for the question. Go to the next question, read it and guess the answer. These are all the questions. Read the question which is on the screen. These are all the questions we are going to discuss, are the repeated questions. So I suggest you that once again you have to go through this video once again, because some of the questions you need to see again and again, maybe twice or maybe thrice, because till you get that concept and the hold on that topic you have to see. And again I am going to see this the thing you will see after your second year also, means after the finishing of the second year also, after the finishing of the first year videos also, you are going to watch this. Okay, now those who are in the second years, I hope so you will be having some idea. Those who are in the first year, it will be fresh for you, these questions and all. So you need to be aligned with these questions. You need some alignment, okay, with these questions to solve that. Okay, so as soon as you accept those questions and you try to mentally fix with that questions and to interpret whatever the given the meaning of that questions and all, you start to interpret mentally, you will fix and you will prepare, then everything will be easier. But whatever the things is, you to align your mindset to those questions, you need to watch this video, you need to solve these questions not once, not twice, thrice and 4 times. And I also have told that again and again, go and solve 15 to 20 questions per day from each subject, maybe one chapter, and that will be helpful for you, okay, for the future, and which will make you to prepare for the examination, for the competitive examination, and which creates a lot of reasoning, the logical thinking, all those things for you if you practice this competitive exams. By saying this, in between this question, I am going to move to the next question, whichever on the screen is, that is nothing but a particle is thrown vertically upward with the velocity of 4 meters per second. The ratio of its acceleration after 1 second and 2 seconds of its motion is. A particle is thrown vertically upwards with the velocity of 4 meters per second. So initial velocity is 4 meters per second, no? Right? Initial velocity is 4 meters per second. The ratio of its acceleration, okay, after 1 second and 2 seconds of its motion. Vertically thrown means the ratio of acceleration after 1 second and 2 seconds will be what? See, V is equal to V naught plus AT. V naught we know, that is A is equal to V minus V naught divided by T, right? Okay, so that is the acceleration, but we have to find out, that is we know that this is a conceptual question. We know that acceleration remains same for the body which is thrown upward, no. So for the first body also it is 9.8, for the second body also it is 9.8. So acceleration for with the velocity of 4 meter per second and the ratio of its after 1 second and 2 second, that will be remain same, no. 1:1 because acceleration is same, no. So it must be this. It is not like that, it is 9.8 remains constant. Directly you are going to put this value, right? Directly you are going to put that value, and that is not the thing and correct answer. The one that is option C, option C is the right answer there. Okay, option C is the right answer. Okay, the ratio remains constant. Need not to do that. It is the direct question. Next we are going to talk about, we have reached almost to the end of this topic. Okay, now a body is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 19.6 meter per second. With the velocity of 19.6 meter per second, the position of the body after 4 seconds will be, the position of the body after 4 seconds will be at the highest point, lowest point, whatever the option is given, we will find out first. So x is equal to v naught t plus half at square. No, our body is thrown vertically upward with the velocity of 19 meter per second, means now x I am going to write down in this way. I am going to write down x in this way, and so x I have to find out. Velocity is positive 19.6 into after 4 seconds it is 4 minus upward, that is 10/2 is 5 into after 4 seconds 14 it is 16, no, it is 16, 19.6 it is 16. Now here it is how much, I will take it is 20, so 20 means it is 80 minus it is okay 15, okay, isn't it, or 80, here also comes as 80. So nearly equal to 0. 0 means the meaning is that object has gone upward and came back again, no. Okay, it has come back again. Okay, so we can say that it is at the starting point, which is at the starting point. In other way also you can write down. You have to see the final velocity vertically thrown up. Okay, wait. Vertically thrown upward means with the velocity 19.2 means the body after 4 seconds. Okay, what is the time taken to move to the highest point? That is v is equal to v naught plus 80. No, v is 0. Upward velocity is positive, that is 9.6 minus 10 into t you have to find out. So now 10t which is equal to 19.6, no, t which is equal to 19.6 divided by 10, so which is nothing but 1.96, which is nearly equal to 2 seconds. So it takes 2 seconds to go up and 2 seconds to come back once again to the downward position, means after 4 seconds it will be remains at the ground only, so it is remains in the starting point only. So now here these are the questions we have studied, and we are going to conclude here the questions whatever we have studied for the motion in a straight line, because here we are going to concluding the chapter of motion in a straight line and we are going to begin with some other chapters. Okay, so now those who are in the first years, those who are watching these videos, those who are in the second year, those who are watching in the video, I am suggesting you only one thing, that exams will be there, competition will be there, it is never going to end, but the preparation for that will be there. Preparation you must do, otherwise it is your choice. Okay, the thing is that prepare nicely. Ordered study is very much important. Those who are competing, order study. One day also you should not miss the order. One moment also you should not miss the order. Take a timetable, go and refer the books and solve it all the question. Once or twice you see the synopsis, that is sufficient. No need to see synopsis much and much. If you are going to look at again and again synopsis, nothing much is going to understand. Well, you actually solve the problems, that will be very much understanding. Okay, so by saying this, I am going to thank you, all of you watching these videos. Once again, go through the videos, and always for the next videos, keep on watching our next videos. By saying all this, I'll hereby say you thank you very much for today's classes. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.